and thank you for joining us on the Unilag TV Education News Rundown. I am Nifi Akora. On Monday, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, announced that its student loan scheme had crossed 1 million applications less than a year after launch. The scheme, introduced in May 2024 under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, was created to make higher education more affordable for Nigerian students. So far, NELFund said it had disbursed over 116 billion naira to students in universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, covering tuition and upkeep. Managing Director Akintunde Soya described the milestone as a sign of growing trust in the initiative. But reaction from students have been mixed. Many have continued to complain about rising tuition fees and the limited reach of the loan scheme, saying that most undergraduates are yet to benefit. Education analysts also warn that the real challenge may come in repayment and how efficiently the funds are managed going forward. Also on Monday, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, extended the deadline for 2025 public university admissions to November 17th. According to JAM's spokesperson, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, the move followed appeals from university vice-chancellors and other stakeholders whose admission processes were delayed by court orders. The board said the extension would also give room for newly accredited academic programs to complete their admission procedures, and stressed that this would be the final deadline for all institutions. On Tuesday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the Ministry of Education to end the ongoing industrial dispute with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. After meeting with the president at the State House, Education Minister Dr. Olatunji Alausa said the president gave him a clear and firm mandate to prevent further academic disruptions. He explained that many of ASU's long-standing demands, including earned allowances, had been addressed while negotiations continued on others. Still on Tuesday, the federal government has launched the Tertiary Institution Governance and Transparency Platform, a new digital system designed to promote transparency and accountability across Nigeria's higher institutions. Education Minister Tunji Alausa described the platform as a major milestone in rebuilding public confidence in how schools are managed. Under the scheme, data on enrollment, research funding and performance will now be uploaded to a single national database, and access to ICT intervention funds will depend on verified compliance. Institutions that meet the requirements will receive data clearance certificates as part of a new monitoring process, a move aimed at tightening oversight and ensuring that education funds are properly used. On Wednesday, over 1 billion naira was pledged to a new endowment fund at the University of Lagos, a move set to boost academic life for both students and faculty. The event, which held at the Tayo Aderyoko Lecture Theatre, honored Bayelsa State Governor Duoye Diri for his contributions to leadership. It also marked the launch of his book, Leadership Chronicles of Governor Duoye Diri, compiled by Unilag Consult, and the establishment of a professorial chair in leadership and good governance. Vice-Chancellor Professor Folashade Ogunshola said the initiative would help groom the next generation of leaders through research, teaching, and mentorship. Governor Diri reaffirmed his commitment to education, calling it the bedrock of any advancing society. The billion naira pledge came from dignitaries, lawmakers, and corporate partners, one of Unilag's biggest single fundraising drives in recent years. Still on Wednesday, the Nigerian Senate passed the Sexual Harassment of Students Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2025, prescribing jail terms of up to 14 years for educators found guilty of harassing students. Under the new law, offenders who demand sexual favors in exchange for grades face between 5 and 14 years in prison with no option of fine. Even lesser offenses such as unwanted advances or gestures would attract up to 5 years behind bars. The bill also ruled out consent as a defense in educator-student relationships unless a valid marriage exists. Students, parents, and lawyers can now report such cases directly to the police, attorney general, or institutional committees. On Thursday, the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU challenged government claims of improved university funding. The union dismissed reports that 50 billion naira had been released for revitalization, saying no institution had received the funds. ASU also denied government claims of clearing salary and promotion arrears, insisting that major promises from the 2009 agreement remained unfulfilled. The union gave the government until November 21, 2025 to meet its obligations or risk another nationwide strike. Meanwhile, the government defended its new Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund, which ASU described as a debt trap. Education Minister Tunji Alausa said over 9,000 staff from 219 institutions benefited in the first phase, each eligible for interest-free loans of up to 10 million naira. Officials called it a visionary welfare scheme, but ASU maintained that the focus should be on fulfilling past commitments, not introducing loans. Still on Thursday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved the establishment of a Federal University of Science and Technology (ECPE) in Lagos State, despite a standing 7-year ban on creating new federal universities. Senate President Godswill Akpabio confirmed that the president had signed the establishment bill into law, calling it a boost for science and tech education. The university is expected to focus on fields like engineering, AI, and data science to support Nigeria's growing digital economy. The decision came as a surprise to many, given the earlier ban on creating new institutions, but officials said the move aligned with government efforts to expand access and innovation in higher education. Finally, on Thursday, the University of Lagos rounded off its first ever registry week with a strong call for professionalism, digital literacy, and ethical renewal among administrative staff. The 3-day event, which ran from Tuesday, November 4th to Thursday, November 6th, closed with a charge from Registrar Victoria Wycliffe. She urged registry staff to embrace innovation, integrity, and accountability, saying the registry must lead UNILAG into a new era of digital transformation. Vice-Chancellor Professor Folashade Ogunshola commended the initiative as a bold step towards administrative excellence, adding that collaboration and continuous learning remain key to sustaining UNILAG's leadership in higher education. The week also featured the launch of Registry Synthel magazine and recognition awards for outstanding staff, highlighting the university's drive to modernize its administrative system and strengthen professional ethics. And that's your weekly education news rundown on UNILAG TV. Follow us on all social media platforms at UNILAG on TV for more updates. Thank you for watching. I am Nifi Akora.